one of the biggest lies we've normalized is the idea that being busy automatically means we're moving in the right direction. Because if I'm being honest, a lot of us are exhausted. Not because we're working hard, but because our daily lives feel disconnected from who we actually want to become. You wake up, check your phone, rush through routines, study, work, scroll, sleep. And somehow, days turn into months without ever asking, why am I even doing all this? That question has been sitting in my head for a while. And recently, I came across this Japanese concept called Ikigai. Not as some motivational quote on Instagram, but as an actual framework for designing a meaningful life. Ikigai is basically the intersection between what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what can sustain you long term. And when I first understood it, I realized something uncomfortable. Most of our routines are built around survival, not alignment. We optimize for deadlines, not meaning, for productivity, not purpose. And I started wondering, what if the real problem isn't laziness? What if our routines feel heavy because deep down, they're pulling us away from ourselves? So I decided to look at my own life differently. Not just goals, not motivation, not morning routine hacks, but every recurring hour of my day, I started auditing everything. The way I spend mornings, the people I give energy to, the work I avoid, the habits that drain me, even the things I do automatically without questioning anymore. And something became very obvious. Some parts of my life gave me energy even when they were difficult, and some parts drained me even when they were productive. That difference matters a lot, because passion isn't always excitement. Sometimes passion is simply the thing that makes time disappear. For me, creating ideas does that. Building things, thinking deeply, talking about growth, designing systems, even recording videos like this. I don't always feel motivated to do them, but they feel meaningful. And then comes the second part. What are you actually good at? Because loving something alone isn't enough. There are things we enjoy casually, and things we're willing to improve at repeatedly. That's different. Skill requires repetition, frustration, consistency. And I realized I kept waiting to feel ready before committing deeply to certain things. But mastery doesn't happen after confidence. Confidence comes after repetition. Then comes another difficult layer. What creates value for other people? Because purpose becomes stronger when it extends beyond ourselves. And I think this is where many people feel lost. We consume constantly but rarely ask, what am I contributing? Even small things matter. Helping someone, creating clarity, building useful tools, making someone feel understood. Impact doesn't always need millions of people. Sometimes meaning becomes real the moment your existence improves another person's day slightly. And then comes the final part, sustainability. Can this life actually support you long-term? Not just emotionally, but financially, mentally, physically. Because burnout often happens when one area of life grows while everything else collapses. A meaningful life cannot depend entirely on self-destruction. And this is where I think routines become powerful. Not as productivity aesthetics, but as alignment systems. Every repeated action is shaping your future identity. Every hour is a vote for a certain version of yourself. Which means your schedule is not just time management, it's life direction. That thought genuinely changed how I see daily habits. Because now when I look at a task, I ask, does this move me closer to the life I actually want? And honestly, a lot of things don't. Some commitments exist only because I said yes too many times. Some habits are distractions disguised as rest. Some goals aren't even mine. They were inherited from pressure, comparison, or fear. And removing those things feels uncomfortable because misalignment is familiar. But maybe growth is less about adding more and more about removing what no longer belongs. I still don't have everything figured out. I still procrastinate sometimes, still waste time, still overthink. But I think I finally understand something important. A meaningful life is not built in huge breakthroughs. It's built quietly, through repeated aligned days. And maybe the goal isn't becoming perfectly disciplined. Maybe the goal is creating a life where discipline feels natural because your actions finally make sense to you. That's what I'm trying to build right now. Not just a productive life, a meaningful one.